Welcome to Chemistry Fundamentals. I am Dr. Rajiv Oberoi, dealing with the preparation of haloalkanes. The next method by which it can be prepared is from hydrocarbon. Preparation of haloalkane from hydrocarbon. Now we know that hydrocarbon are of two types: saturated hydrocarbon and unsaturated hydrocarbon. We are first using the saturated hydrocarbon. So how saturated hydrocarbon can be converted into haloalkane? So this is through halogenation. Conversion of saturated hydrocarbon into haloalkane through halogenation. So suppose the smallest of all saturated hydrocarbon, methane, we have taken. So if methane is made to react with chlorine, remember this reaction takes place in presence of UV radiation or in presence of heat. Now since it is UV radiation, means this reaction takes place in presence of light, therefore this reaction is termed as photochemical reaction. Very important to note that all photochemical reaction are supposed to be zero order reaction. This you will deal in chemical kinetics, what is meant by order of reaction and what are zero order reaction. But these are zero order reaction, that is the rate of reaction does not depend upon any of the concentration. Number one. Number two, since it is a photochemical reaction, therefore the mechanism this reaction follow is always the free radical mechanism. It follows a free radical mechanism. It's a photochemical reaction and follows free radical mechanism. So let us deal this in detail. So methane react with chlorine in presence of UV radiation. If this reaction takes place in the ratio 1:1, 1 H and 1 Cl goes in form of HCl and it converts into methyl chloride. That is 1 chloromethane methyl chloride. If methane reacts with chlorine in the ratio 1:2, 1 molecule of methane reacts with 2 molecule of chlorine, then it results in formation of 2H get replaced. 2H get replaced, it results in formation of CH2Cl2. It results in formation of CH2Cl2. This is called as 1,1 dichloromethane. 1,1 dichloromethane. In short, it is termed as methylene chloride. In short, it is termed as methylene chloride. So in the ratio of 1:1, the product is 1 chloromethane. In the ratio of 1:2, the product is 1,1 dichloromethane, that is methylene chloride. Now if this reaction takes place in the ratio 1:3, 1 molecule of methane react with 3 molecule of chlorine, so 3CH get replaced by 3Cl, result in formation of CHCl3, that is 1,1,1 trichloromethane, that is chloroform. 1,1,1 trichloromethane, that is chloroform, would be formed. Now if this same reaction takes place in the ratio 1:4, methane react with chlorine in the ratio 1:4, all the 4H of the methane get replaced and it result in formation of 1,1,1,1,1,1 tetrachloromethane, commonly termed as pyrene, which is used as fire extinguisher. So methane when made to react with chlorine, what would be the product? So remember all. Methane when made to react with chlorine in presence of UV radiation, what would be the product? So it will give you mixture of methyl chloride, it gives methylene chloride, it gives chloroform, and it gives pyrene. It gives mixture of methyl chloride, methylene chloride, chloroform, and pyrene. Now since properties of these compounds are very similar, therefore it is very difficult to separate them. Therefore this method is normally avoided to prepare haloalkane, because mixture of haloalkane is obtained when alkane is made to react with chlorine in presence of UV radiation. Let us deal with the mechanism of this reaction. Now remember that halogenation of alkane is a multi-step process. It is a multi-step process. What happens in first step? In the first step, the molecule of chlorine in presence of UV radiation undergo homolytic fission. The bond between chlorine and chlorine undergo homolytic fission. What is homolytic fission? So it is a fission in which the shared pair get equally distributed between two atoms. The shared pair is equally distributed, that is both these atoms get back its shared electron. So this chlorine gets converted into chlorine free radical. It gets converted into chlorine free radical. So in the first step, molecule of chlorine absorb light, undergo homolytic fission and results in formation of chlorine free radical. Then in the second step, the chlorine free radical react with molecule of methane. It react with molecule of methane. It withdraw hydrogen as free radical, converting methane into methyl free radical. So this chlorine free radical attacks the methane, withdraw a hydrogen as a free radical, converting methane into methyl free radical. Now the methyl free radical then attacks the molecule of chlorine. The methyl free radical then attacks the molecule of chlorine. It withdraw one of the chlorine as free radical and converting another into free radical. So this Cl combines to this chlorine as single electron, combines to this methyl, resulting in formation of methyl chloride, and a chlorine free radical is formed. So what happens? If in the first step chlorine free radical is formed, in the first step chlorine free radical is formed, then chlorine free radical attacks the methane, forms methyl free radical. Methyl free radical attacks the chlorine, gets the product, a chlorine free radical is left over. Again chlorine free radical attacks the alkane molecule, converts in formation of alkyl free radical. Alkyl free radical react with chlorine to form the product, and again chlorine free radical is left over, and therefore this reaction continues. Therefore it is termed as a cyclic process. This is a chain or a cyclic process. This reaction would be termed as a chain process. It will continue. So once chlorine free radical is formed, it will continue by itself. That is, it is self-sustained. Chlorine free radical is helping the formation of methyl free radical, and methyl free radical is helping the formation of chlorine free radical, and it is continuing. So we are getting the product. In the second step, we are getting the product and something is left over to continue this chain process. We are getting the product and something is left over. This is chlorine free radical is left over to continue this reaction. Now at the same time, we may get the product by another method. That is, if instead of methane coming in contact with chlorine free radical to give this coming in contact with chlorine to give the product, it is also quite possible and easy also that if methyl free radical directly comes in contact with chlorine free radical and forms methyl chloride. But the problem is if this is followed, then yes, we are getting the product, but nothing is left over to continue this reaction. Hence the chain reaction will not be proceeding if this happens. The chain reaction can't proceed if this is happening. So if methyl free radical react with chlorine free radical, we get the product, but nothing is left over to continue this chain process. The another possibility is methyl free radical, because there are n number of methyl free radical, there are n number of chlorine free radical in the system. So methyl may react with chlorine free radical to give this one case. Methyl free radical may react with methyl free radical to give ethane, number 2, or chlorine free radical react with chlorine free radical. Remember, chlorine free radical react with chlorine free radical. Now this methyl free radical comes in contact with chlorine free radical, result in formation of methyl chloride, but I said nothing is left over to continue the reaction. Nothing is left over to continue this reaction. So we are getting product, but nothing is left over to continue. That is, chlorine free radical is not there. So we are getting product, but chain reaction can't proceed. The another possibility is that if methyl free radical comes in contact with methyl free radical, it results in formation of ethane. Or chlorine free radical comes in contact with chlorine free radical, then it results in formation of chlorine. So in the third step, though we are getting the product, but nothing is left over to continue this chain process. So therefore we have categorized these three. So these three processes are, so remember, this first step is termed as chain initiation step. The first step is termed as a chain initiation step. It is the step where number of free radical in the system increases. The first step is termed as chain initiation step, and it is the step where number of free radical increases. Let us elaborate. On the reactant side there are 0 free radical. On the reactant side there are 0 free radical. On the product side there are 2. There are 0 free radical on the reactant side, 2 free radical on the product side. 0 is becoming 2, that is number of free radical is increasing. Number of free radical is increasing. The second step is termed as chain propagation step. Second step is termed as chain propagation step, and it is the step where number of free radical remains unchanged. Number of free radical remains unchanged. Now let us elaborate. On the reactant side there is one free radical, that is chlorine free radical. On the reactant side there is chlorine free radical 1. On the product side again there is one free radical, but now it is methyl free radical. So chlorine free radical has formulated the methyl free radical, but on both sides the number of free radical is same. On this side free radical is 1, on this side is free radical, it is 1. That is number of free radical remaining unchanged. Number of free radical remaining unchanged. Now this methyl free radical then attacks the chlorine molecule, converting into the product, and chlorine free radical is left over. Again on the reactant side there is one free radical, that is methyl free radical. On the product side again there is one free radical, that is chlorine free radical. So the step where number of free radical increases, the step in which number of free radical increases is termed as chain initiation step. The step in which number of free radical remains unchanged, is termed as chain propagation step. Now come to the last step. The third step is termed as chain termination step. The third step is termed as chain termination step, and it is the step where number of free radical decreases. On the reactant side number of free radical are 2, methyl free radical and chlorine free radical. On the product side there is 0. On the reactant side 2, on the product side 0. On the reactant side 2, on the product side 0. So the step where number of free radical decreases is termed as chain termination. So halogenation of alkane is a 3-step process. The first step is called as chain initiation step, the step where number of free radical increases. The second step is called as chain propagation step, where number of free radical remains unchanged. And third step is chain termination step, where number of free radical decreases. Now out of these 3 steps, what is the trend of the importance of this step? So the trend of the importance of the step, of the 3 steps, which is most important? So remember, the most important step is chain propagation step, not chain initiation. The most important step is chain propagation. Chain propagation step is the step where free radical helps one another. That is, this is the step which is responsible for the chain process. So longer is the chain propagation step, higher would be the possibility of getting the product. Longer is this chain propagation step, higher would be possibility of getting the product. Therefore the most important step of the 3 is chain propagation. Longer is this step, higher would be the possibility of getting the product. More and more product would be formed. The second important step is chain initiation. So among the 3, the most important is chain propagation, because chain reaction depends upon this. The chain propagation step, longer is this, greater would be the possibility of the product formation. The second more important is the chain initiation. but it is less as compared to chain propagation. So second important step is chain initiation, and the step which is totally unwanted is chain termination step. It is the chain termination step, because if this begins, then chain reaction is going to stop. So the unwanted step is chain termination, and the most wanted step is chain propagation in case of halogenation of alkane. Now remember that haloalkene we are discussing now. Haloalkene are of two type. Haloalkene are of two type. A, it is allylic halide. B, it is vinylic halide. Allylic and vinylic, these we are talking about haloalkenes, which are of two type, allylic and vinylic. What are allylic halide? So we say these are the molecules, these halo compounds are unsaturated. Molecule is unsaturated, but halogen is attached to saturated carbon, that is sp3 hybridized carbon. Allylic halides are those halo compounds in which molecule is unsaturated, but halogen is attached to saturated carbon, that is sp3 hybridized carbon. Let us elaborate. Say this molecule: CH2 double bond CH single bond CH3Cl. So this molecule is unsaturated. Yes, due to presence of a double bond it is unsaturated, but the carbon to which halogen is attached, it is saturated carbon having sigma bond number 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 sigma bond. This carbon is a saturated carbon. This carbon is sp3 hybridized, and this halogen is attached to saturated carbon. One more example. In this compound again, if this compound is unsaturated, yes, it is unsaturated. This compound is unsaturated due to presence of a double bond, but again halogen is attached to saturated carbon, therefore it will fall under the category of allylic halide. Fall under the category of allylic halide. Let us discuss regarding the vinylic halide. So vinylic halides are also unsaturated compounds. Molecule is unsaturated and halogen is attached to unsaturated carbon. Molecule is unsaturated and halogen is attached to unsaturated carbon, that is carbon which is sp2 hybridized. Say this molecule: CH3 single bond CH double bond CHCl. So this molecule is unsaturated, yes, due to presence of a double bond. Now halogen is attached to a carbon which is unsaturated having sigma bond number 1, sigma bond number 2, sigma bond number 3, but fourth bond is pi bond. Therefore this carbon is sp2 hybridized. This carbon is sp2 hybridized, that is unsaturated carbon. Therefore it is a vinylic halide. This is a molecule which is unsaturated, yes, due to presence of a double bond it is unsaturated. It contains halogen, and halogen is attached to unsaturated carbon. Halogen is attached to unsaturated carbon. Therefore again it would be termed as a vinylic halide. So unsaturated halo compound in which halo is attached to unsaturated carbon are termed as vinylic halide. So let us deal with the preparation of allylic chloride. So remember, in case of allylic chloride, halogen is attached to a saturated carbon. The process or the mechanism of halogenation is same as in case of alkanes. The previous topic in this video we have done, the halogenation of alkanes, same way it will occur. So though molecule is unsaturated, but halogenation is taking place on saturated carbon, therefore it will follow the same mechanism as we have discussed. So what happens? See, molecule of chlorine comes in contact with light, undergo homolytic fission resulting in formation of chlorine free radical. Chlorine molecule converting into chlorine free radical. Now this chlorine free radical then comes in contact with molecule of propene, carbon 1, 2, 3 with a double bond. So when it comes in contact with the propene, one of the hydrogen is taken away with a single electron and converting this species into a free radical. So it results in formation of CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2 with a single electron, resulting in formation of a free radical. So propene is converted into its free radical and HCl is formed. Now this free radical means what is going on? Chain propagation step is taking place. This free radical then comes in contact with molecule of chlorine. It comes in contact with molecule of chlorine. One of the Cl with a single electron is taken away. One of the chlorine with a single electron taken away, and it gets attached to this carbon, forming CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2Cl, and a chlorine free radical is left over to continue this reaction. This is a chain propagation step. So a chlorine free radical is left over to continue, and we are getting allyl chloride. So this propene, when converted into this allylic halide, since halogenation is taking place at saturated carbon, therefore it follows the mechanism of halogenation in alkane. So this allylic chloride preparation follows the mechanism similar as halogenation of alkane. So I hope that this topic is clear to you all. To just master this topic, because these are very, very important for both board examination and also very important for the competitive examination. So let us now deal with the preparation of vinylic halide. If we prepare vinylic halide, how it could be prepared? So one of the best method through which vinylic halide can be prepared is by the addition on alkynes. The addition of hydrogen halide on alkynes is one of the best method to prepare the vinylic halides. Suppose I have taken this compound CH3 single bond C triple bond CH, that is propyne 1, and made to react with HCl. So as per the Markovnikov rule, negative part combines to carbon that contains least number of hydrogen. So Cl combines over here, H combines over here. This Cl combines over here as per Markovnikov rule. Negative part combines to the carbon that contains least number of hydrogen. This carbon is having none hydrogen. This carbon is having one hydrogen. This Cl combines over here, H combines over here. So it results in formation of CH3 CCl double bond CH2. CH3 CCl double bond CH2. This is 3 comes prop double bond ene after 1. So this is propene 1 having chloro at position 2. So it is 2 chloropropene 1. It is 2 chloropropene 1. 2 chloropropene 1. Is it vinylic? Yes, it is a vinylic compound because molecule is unsaturated and halogen is attached to a unsaturated carbon. This is a vinylic halide. Now if the same reaction is carried out using any organic peroxide, especially benzoyl peroxide, then this reaction will proceed as per anti-Markovnikov rule. Anti to Markovnikov would be applied, that is negative part will add to the carbon which contains more hydrogen. The negative part will combine to the carbon which contains more hydrogen. So Cl over here, Cl combines over here, the Cl combines over here, and H combines over here. The Cl combines at carbon number 1, H combines at carbon number 2, resulting in formation of CH3 CH double bond CClH, 3 combines prop double bond ene at number 1 having chloro at 1, so it is 1 chloropropene 1. So this is how we can prepare the vinylic halide. We can prepare vinylic. So we have discussed the preparation of haloalkane by halogenation of alkane. Preparation of haloalkane by halogenation of alkane. Then we have discussed the preparation of haloalkene. The two types of haloalkene are there. One is allylic, other is vinylic. We have discussed both the preparation of allylic and also the preparation of vinylic. So in case of allylic, the reaction is similar as alkane, but in case of vinylic, it is through the addition. One of the method is through addition of HX to the unsaturated hydrocarbon, that is alkynes. So there are many other methods through which it can be prepared. One of the very important method is from ketone, that would be dealt along with the ketone, the preparation from ketone also. So there are various other methods through which this vinylic halide can be prepared. We will deal with the topic with the ketones and aldehydes also.